Hello, so today I'll kind of be doing an overview slash gameplay of the new KSP update 1.11 or 1.11, whatever you want to call it. And so this is probably one of the biggest updates that KSP has ever had. It has like colored lights. We have brand new EVA stuff. Like engineer Kerbals can build stuff on the rocket. Like if you've forgotten your parachute, you can add that in. Engineers can also do part repairs with the engineer part kit, and there are new lights. I think I've said that. So right now you can see that the rocket's blue. That's actually because of the lights. I've offsetted them into the fuel tank so that it would have this kind of cool look. So I hope you like that. So now we're just doing our ascent into space. I'm trying to aim for around the 45-degree marker once I hit the 10-kilometer marker. And now we're well past that right now. We are at around 33 kilometers. Yes. So now I've just turned off our engines, and now we're just going to be coasting into our to our apoapsis, where we will then circularize around Kerbin. And I've just plotted that burn. And now I'm going to deploy the first stage, so then it doesn't get stuck in orbit. And so now we're starting the circularization burn around Kerbin. If you are enjoying this video so far, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you. And now we're starting that burn that I was just talking about. And now we finish the burn. Now I'm going to time warp until we can get a kind of good, like, to a point where we can get the moon into good position. And now we're going to create a maneuver node, and we're going to drag on the program marker until the game tells us that we have a Mun Encounter. And now we'll do that burn hopefully soon. And so now I'll time warp to the burn, and I'll do that burn now. And so this burn cost around 850 meters per second for me to do. For me to, what's the word? I can't remember. For me to execute. That's the word. So there's our Munar Encounter. I did slightly overshoot the burn, so I used slightly more fuel than I would have hoped. So I kind of had to switch between the prograde and retrograde markers to get a proper encounter with the Mun. So the videos that you may see in the future are still KSP 1.10, so we don't get any of the EVA features or the lights, because I pre-recorded the videos. So I think for like 3 months you'll be seeing the 1.10 updates. I mean the videos that have the 1.10 version of KSP. Yes. So I've just made a midcourse correction that will help us that will fix our inclination or orbital inclination. I hope that makes sense. And now we're doing that burn. And what I'm going to do now in a few seconds is I'm going to make a second mid-course correction burn. And that will just raise our periapsis a little bit. And now we'll time warp to that. And then, so this This is only like a 0.6 meter per second burn. It's very cheap. I can't see what it says on the screen since it's really blurry. But if it's more than that, tell me in the comments. And now I'm doing that burn. So I'm at very minimal throttle just so that I can get this burn to be perfect. And I actually did save like a 0.5 meters per second on this burn because I realized that I could get a more accurate orbit if I just didn't burn 0.1 meters per second. Not that that's like a notable thing. So I just turned on the lights again. I don't know why they were off before, but yeah. And I thought, like, since this is a kind of like a update video overview, I thought, why don't we get Bill out of the capsule and then we use the new construction mode. So I'm about to do that now. I will add in a wait for it. It's right after this circularization burn. I just burned retrograde to slow us down enough to circularize around the Mun. I'll time warp a bit. And then hopefully I may have missed it. It may have already happened when I was not paying attention to the screen. Okay. No, I think it's about to happen now. So, I added in a singular RCS block and solar panel. I wanted to put on a monopropellant thing at first, but I realized I didn't have any RCS. So, yeah. So I did use the 1.11 or 1.11 features in this video. So now I've just made a burn that will get us to Minmus, because I hope I said at the beginning of this video that we will not only be orbiting around the Mun in this video, we'll also be orbiting around Minmus. So now we're getting an encounter with Minmus. And there it is. So now I will make a mid-course correction maneuver that will get our orbit to be perfectly inclined with Minmus. Since Minmus is on a tilted orbit, it's very difficult to get a perfect orbit like on your first maneuver node. It's better if you just get like an encounter and then you do a mid-course correction maneuver. So now I will time warp over to that burn and we'll execute the burn. So it's like a 6.2 meter per second burn, and it gets our orbit to the proper inclination and periapsis height that I want relative to Minmus. And so now we're doing that burn. It brings up our orbit very slowly, and it also makes our orbit less inclined. So now I'm making a maneuver that will circularize this around Minmus. And there it is. I'll now time warp to that maneuver and I'll execute it. So, I learned that the lights, they turn off when you're time warping. I guess for some people that would be useful, but, to save electric charge, but I kind of wanted those to be on. So yeah. Now we'll just time warp to that burn and we'll execute it. And here we are executing the burn. It's like a 260 meter per second burn, approximately. I still can't read what the maneuver node indicator says. I can kind of guess, but it isn't too easy to see. So now I'll slowly time warp around Minmus, and we'll now get, and then we'll start plotting a maneuver node to get back to Kerbin. And we're doing that now. It was like a, it was like a, it was around 260 meter per second burn. So yeah. So just to save like 30 meters per second of fuel, I decided to only have my apoapsis at like 61 meters above Kerbin, and then I did some aerobraking. It does save some fuel, but it isn't really that good for time management because the Kerbals, they want to get home. So here I realized that my escape trajectory was intersecting with the ground, so I made a new maneuver node. This part was supposed to be cut out of the video. I don't know why it's still here, but I'm going to keep it. So now I am just making the new maneuver node. I tried to aim for the same height relative to Kerbin, around 60 to 61 meters per second. Now we'll time warp to that burn and we'll execute the burn in a few seconds. So now we're doing the maneuver, and now we finished doing the maneuver. Now we'll time warp to our Kerbin periapsis. And here we are. I'm going to now point retrograde, and I'm going to detach the and now we're getting ready to re-enter Kerbin's atmosphere. There may be a slight delay in what I'm saying and what the video is saying, since I've paused the video in my voiceover software and I've unpaused the video, and then like there's been a slight delay in me pausing the actual playback of the video that I'm seeing. So it will probably only be like a few seconds, more like 30 seconds. So now we've re-entered the atmosphere. You can see our orbital height apoapsis is moving down by a lot, and then we get a Mun Encounter. So what I tried doing is I tried using the RCS to move to kind of change our orbit, but that didn't really work. And I forgot that I had an engine inside of the cargo thing, and I could have added that. Oh wait, but I've just realized that I didn't have any fuel, so an engine wouldn't have really helped. So yeah, I think mine is actually going to be really far ahead. So then I tried doing like a ton of things to try to not make me have a Mun Encounter. You can see me panning the camera. I've changed the buttons that will do the RCS controls for docking to the arrow keys, so they both pan and tilt the camera, and they do they also do my docking stuff. So the docking RCS, not the docking stuff. So now we're at our Mun Encounter, and so you guys do get 2 Mun Encounters in this one video. And now we will just time warp down, and then we'll start re-entering the Kerbin's atmosphere. And then my lights decided to start working again. So we get to see those lights while we're re-entering. And there's the re-entry heating. I'm not sure about you guys, but I personally feel like the fire re-entry heating, it like the graphics and animation for that have changed, and I think it looks much better now. And now we're here at parachute deploy, and because of my really bad editing skills, now we're moving back in time, and you get to watch this part twice. So our parachutes have deployed, and now we are getting ready to jettison the heat shield and land. And so you might have seen in this video that my scatterer is working, even though there's been a new update. There have been a few slight glitches, but overall it's really good. How scatterer has been working really well with this update. So I was just checking to see if it would have been possible when we got that Mun Encounter to attach the Aerospike, and it is. So yeah. Now we're just slowly coasting down into landing. And now we're landing. In 3, 2, 1. I hope 3, 2, 1, and we've landed. Now I just got Bill out to check and see if it would have actually been possible to get the Aerospike installed. And like I said earlier, it is. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And sorry for the slight delay in the audio. Bye.